Okay, I'm going to be making some slower delay whistle formula, and I'm going to do it in a way that's going to show you how to make it as fast as possible. Kind of an oxymoron, I guess. But I start with high purity potassium perchlorate. And I want to measure out 64 grams. This is just going to be a 100 gram batch. And even the high purity stuff, it's clumped up real hard. It hasn't gotten moisture in it. If I'm making really hot stuff, I want to dry this in an oven, obviously. But, alright, where's my scale? Okay. Spider. Now, I mix everything up in Ziploc baggies. 11 grams. Let's tare it. $40 grams. 56. 63. 64 grams. Now, before I add anything else, I break this all up. I leave a little bit of air in there so the bag can move around. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. And I roll it out just to break up the clumps. Until I stop hearing the grains crunching. No real milling needed. I think that's plenty fine of a powder now. There's no clumps whatsoever. Okay. Well, I realize I'm not supposed to mix in the same bag because I already have chems in, but that's what I'm gonna do. Now, the next ingredient is supposed to be potassium benzoate, but I'm actually using potassium salicylate, and actually I'm using sodium salicylate, I'm sorry. So, and I need 32 grams of it. So, tare. One, 32. next ingredient, it's supposed to be a catalyst, either red iron oxide or copper oxychloride. This particular formula I'm making, I changed it to red gum. I also changed the amount. Instead of putting 2% catalyst in it, I'm putting 4%. And I also changed the amount of phlegmatizer from 6 down to 4. So I still add up to 100%. I'm just using 4% instead of 2. And this is red gum. The reason I like it is it doesn't make the fuel too fast, but it keeps everything burning nice and smooth. There's not a real raspy sound effect coming from the whistles. Okay. Tare. I need 4 grams. Might have gone a little bit over. No biggie. It's delay, so it doesn't have to be super hot. And I'm adding the wax later. So I'll be adding 4% wax, and I just use this Gulf wax, melt it in a tin can, add some Coleman fuel. Now, when I mix this stuff up, I just keep turning the bag till it gets mixed. But I still roll it out, and I'm kind of careful with how I roll it out, because there's still, when you squeeze it, you can see white clumps in here, and it will whistle if you use it just like this, but it's not, you're wasting power, you're losing thrust. So I take it and I roll it out, and you can see all the clumps just kind of get drawn out. And I just keep going back and forth. Every once in a while I'll pick up the bag and turn it over. There's still some clumps in there. And that's pretty well mixed. I don't see any white streaks or clumps. And I'm happy with this for whistle delay. The only other thing I have to do after this like I said, is melt the wax, put it in some Coleman fuel, and then dump that in here. I'm using 4% wax, and that's plenty good enough. The only other thing I do add, and I didn't grab it, is I'm going to add some titanium delay to this, and you can use anywhere from 5% down to, or up to about 15%. I wouldn't really want to go too much more than that, but there you have it. I guarantee this stuff is nice and fast. There's no clumps whatsoever, and it's gonna work. It's gonna lift just about anything.